2020. When do you stop looking for a pregnant daughter who's vanished?
I don't think I can survive if I don't find her.
The mother who won't give up.
Mysterious disappearance, the disappearance of Kelsey Schelling.
Long after she fears the worst possible outcome.
We do not have a record of Kelsey Schelling ever being here.
And an on-again, off-again boyfriend, a high school hoop star. As a person of interest.
Young lady in her car with her credit card.
He's not scared. What can I do? How can I help? The call that you're making to him is, Kelsey, the mother of your child, is missing. We are desperate to find her.
And then a mysterious late-night Facebook message blows everything apart. Your daughter is not dead. She will be back home alive. But 1,000 miles across the country, another family with a missing daughter gets a very similar message.
Since I know where Megan is, and I can get her back.
I see him. That should be him.
Tonight, 2020 goes undercover in search of a man in a red cap. A money drop in a McDonald's parking lot in exchange for missing girls.
But I gotta tell you, coming to a parking lot to collect $75,000, a lot of people would say that sounds like a criminal enterprise. I'm as shocked as you got.
It is the ultimate showdown. The two lives still on the line.
Maybe she is out there. Maybe she is alive.
It was just what if.
Good evening, I'm David Muir.
And I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Put yourself in their shoes. Two desperate families with no clue where their daughters are. Vanished without a trace. But over a 7-month investigation, 2020 has discovered a shocking link between them, leading all the way to Russia.
And right here tonight, we're taking you into that world of websites devoted to missing people and strangers who claim to know where your family members are, but at what cost?
February 2013. Dawn breaks cold and clear on a Tuesday morning in Denver, Colorado. And as morning turns to midday, a question hangs in the thin air of Mile High City. Where is Kelsey Schelling? The vivacious 21-year-old recently discovered she's pregnant. Now she's late for work at this Denver housewares store.
She didn't show up for work. I tried calling her, I think, from my cell phone and the store phone. Couldn't get a response.
At his hardware store in Holyoke, Colorado, Kelsey's father, Doug, also has trouble connecting.
Then I thought, well, I'm going to call and see how she's doing. She didn't answer her phone, which is pretty rare.
Tuesday turns into Thursday, and the silence gets louder. Concern morphs into panic, especially for her mother, Laura.
All of her friends, started contacting us, saying, we've been trying to reach Kelsey and we can't reach her. And when that happened, that is when I got really, really scared, because I just thought there has to be a logical explanation.
But since that fateful February week, no explanation has arrived. With no word from Kelsey, Laura spent years searching on her own.
Developments of the disappearance of a Denver woman, a 22-year-old woman.
Kelsey Jean Schelling disappeared on a trip to southern Colorado.
Father, we pray that you would help us to find clues today.
With no word from Kelsey, she spent years searching on her own.
What do we want? Justice!
Knocking heads with the local police department for their handling of the case.
We appreciate you all so much. Your support keeps us going.
And getting wrapped up in a mystery of her own, involving allegations of sex trafficking and extortion. More on that later.
It's unbelievable to me, doing all of the things that I'm doing to just, get out and fight people like I have.
The story traces back here, to a town called Holyoke, a couple of hours east of Denver, where the scenery looks more like Kansas than a Coors commercial. This is where Kelsey was born and raised.
Where's the baba? She liked to be silly, like to laugh. You look at these pictures and you can just see that.
Mother and daughter develop a tight, unbreakable bond after Laura and her husband Doug split up when Kelsey was just 11 years old.
There was just she and I together alone for a lot of years, so we were very close, pretty inseparable, basically.
Kelsey attends nearby Northeastern Junior College with plans to study psychology. There, she becomes fast friends with her roommate, Allie Sandoval.
She was very fun. She was laughing all the time, always getting into trouble, and just out to have a good time.
And at school, a key figure enters her life, Dante Lucas. Their backgrounds cannot be more different. Dante hails from the central Colorado town of Pueblo, a place more Walmart than Little House on the Prairie. Blue-collar Pueblo has a reputation as the most dangerous town in Colorado because of its high crime rate. At Central High School, Dante stands out as a 6'7" basketball star.
He just had a mad passion just for basketball. He loved everything about the game, and hoping that he can go into a Division I basketball school and then maybe make it to the NBA.
But the big college recruiters never come calling. Instead, Dante ends up playing ball at tiny Northeastern Junior College, literally the big man on campus, and in a whirlwind romance with Kelsey Schelling. To Kelsey's friends, the relationship turns toxic from the start.
He would be putting her down, calling her names, saying that she was fat and ugly and nobody else wanted her, and she was lucky enough to have him in her life because she wasn't going to get anything else.
After a couple of tumultuous semesters, the two split up. By 2012, Kelsey has quit school and is living in Denver, working at that home goods store. Dante, his hoop dreams slipping away, is back in Pueblo. To the alarm of Kelsey's friends, the two reconnect.
She loved him.
You think he loved her?
No, you don't treat someone that you love like that. You don't treat them with disrespect the way that he did for her. He would throw things. She would throw things. Just awful.
December rolls in like the snowdrifts in Denver. Kelsey and Dante spend the Christmas holidays together. And shortly thereafter, Mom is asking, what child is this?
She called me when she found out she was pregnant. She was stressed. Just told her, I will support you. Whatever you need, your family's behind you.
Did she tell you anything about Dante's reaction?
She said he was mad. She said he was very angry.
On Sunday, February 3rd, Kelsey writes to Dante, I know now how you truly do feel. You have no obligation to me, and you don't want to have anything with me. The next morning, Kelsey has a prenatal checkup, and the doctor delivers the news. She's 8 weeks pregnant, and her unborn child is in perfect health. She excitedly texts the sonogram to Dante and her family.
She sent you a picture of the baby.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think when you saw the baby?
I was happy. I knew that she was happy.
After that checkup, Dante presses Kelsey to drive down to Pueblo, saying he has a surprise for her. Just wait and see for yourself. You probably wouldn't believe me if I told you. Kelsey responds, tell me what it is and I'll come. Dante, come see for yourself. I know it'll put you in a better mood. Kelsey relents, and at about 10 p.m., the young mom-to-be finishes her shift and pulls away in her black Chevy Cruze, making the lonely 2-hour nighttime drive to Pueblo.
Did you have any idea she was going there? No, if I would have knew who she was, I would have made her take a friend, or I would have made sure and went with her.
During the drive, Dante texts her to go to Walmart in Pueblo to meet him. At 11:20 p.m., Kelsey pulls into the Walmart parking lot. She waits almost an hour for Dante to show up, finally messaging him that she's tired of waiting and will come to him. At 12:15 in the morning, Dante texts her to meet him on this street. They've met here before. It's near his grandmother's house, Dante's current crash pad. Again, she's left waiting in the car. Where are you? She messages him. I've been here over an hour just waiting. Kelsey is never seen again. By the end of the week, her phone shuts off, and her mother is melting down.
Just sheer panic and disbelief. I can't even really remember how scared I felt.
Coming up, Dante tells his story to the cops.
We are now leaning towards foul play.
Is the basketball star a piece of a larger puzzle? And could Kelsey's case be connected somehow to another woman who's gone missing over 1,000 miles away? Could there be a nationwide conspiracy kidnapping young women? Stay with us.
2020 continues. What if? Now to the mysterious disappearance of a Denver woman.
She seemingly disappeared.
The disappearance of Kelsey Schelling.
This much we know. On the night of Monday, February 4th, Kelsey Schelling, very troubled, very pregnant, and maybe still very much in love, makes that late-night drive from Denver to Pueblo, Colorado, to visit her boyfriend, Dante Lucas.
Pregnant woman who vanished. Kelsey was 8 weeks pregnant.
She was last seen in Pueblo.
When Kelsey's family reaches out to Dante, they say he seems oddly unconcerned.
And I just said, if you hear from her, you need to tell her that we're taking this very serious and that we're calling the police. And so he's like, okay, I will.
What did he sound like on the phone? Because the call that you're making to him is, Kelsey, the woman that you are with, the mother of your child, is missing. We are desperate to find her.
Nothing, no. Not worked up, not, just...
He's not scared. What can I do? How can I help?
No, he just says if I hear from her, I'll let you know.
The Pueblo PD take over the case. As the last person known to have seen Kelsey alive, Dante falls under immediate scrutiny and is called in for questioning. He gives a detailed account of what happened. Corroborating Kelsey's texts, he says Kelsey arrived at the Walmart meeting point after 11 p.m. After waiting there in vain for 45 minutes, she and Dante finally rendezvous on Manor Ridge Drive, near his grandmother's house where he'd been staying.
And she came down to Pueblo, and we were talking or whatever. And then she ended up, getting mad at me or whatever. So, I went back home that night. I thought she was just going to go back home, but she ended up staying until the next morning.
Dante claims Kelsey never went home. Instead, he says she slept in her car. And at about 7 that morning, she asked him to take her to a local hospital because she wasn't feeling well.
So, went to Parkview, and she went in and stayed for about almost 2 hours, hour 45 too. She came out and just told me to split her pregnant.
Now that's an eyebrow raiser right there. Since just the previous morning, a doctor in Denver had confirmed the pregnancy and a healthy baby with that ultrasound. Still, Dante proceeds with his story, claiming at about 9 a.m., the two drove from the hospital and ended up at that Walmart where they parted ways. As it turns out, forever.
So went to go get some snacks, something to eat, because we were hungry. And then him and my girl, we ended up talking, and she ended up telling me, get out of the car at Walmart. I said, I'm not taking home. So I just left from Walmart, started walking home.
And you didn't hurt this girl, right?
No, I've never hurt her.
Could Kelsey have harmed herself, distraught over a supposed miscarriage? In his interview, Dante described her as a troubled, erratic young woman.
She had bad anxiety, she has anxiety attacks, so she had pills for that.
Okay, tell me about that.
She's told me before that she's ended up in the hospital a few times from overdosing, I guess.
Dante cast her to police as someone who had troubles with drugs.
I don't believe that, no.
So do you think that Dante made all these statements up?
Yes.
And why do you think he did?
To try and throw detention some other direction. I mean, even if Kelsey did commit suicide, which I don't believe she did, because she was happy. She wanted that baby. She wanted to be a mom. But if she committed suicide, you would find her body.
Dante is allowed to leave. And then, 8 days after the disappearance, a breakthrough.
The car of a missing Denver woman has been found in Pueblo.
Kelsey's car is discovered in a different Pueblo hospital. The car was abandoned in the parking lot. But Andrew McLaughlin, deputy police chief at the time, says police are unable to determine who left it there.
We did not have any good security footage that could tell us who dropped off the car, how the car got there.
But you find the car and no Kelsey.
And no Kelsey. Normally, if someone was going to go away for a few days, they take their car with them. So we are now leaning towards foul play. So we accelerate the case.
Attention now returns with some urgency to Dante's version of events. And already, some things aren't adding up. Remember how Dante said he dropped Kelsey off at this hospital at around 7 a.m. on February 5th? He said he waited outside for her.
She went in and stayed for about almost 2 hours.
But there's just one problem with his story.
We have no record of Kelsey Schilling ever being here at Parkview Medical Center.
Now, what do you check to find out if she was here or not?
We have a medical records system that keeps track of every patient that's ever walked through our doors.
So for you, there was no way she's ever here.
That's correct.
We went to Parkview Hospital and they said, we have no record of Kelsey ever being here. Would that be a suspicious set of circumstances in the way you look at Dante?
Yes, it is.
In fact, much of Dante's story is going to start to crumble quite shortly.
Well, this is another glaring hole in his statement.
Because there were security cameras almost everywhere along the way. And police say they showed no signs of Kelsey. Only Dante.
You got the video, dude. It's not the car. It's on the video.
Stay with us.
2020 continues. What if?
You're looking at surveillance video of that Walmart parking lot from Tuesday at noon. This is Kelsey Schilling's black Chevy Cruze entering a parking spot. Remember, Dante told police he and Kelsey then went inside the store to grab something to eat.
And she went to go get some snacks, something to eat, because she was hungry.
But watch closely. Only one person is seen emerging from that Chevy, and it's Dante. He gets out of the driver's side and walks toward the front of the store. ABC consultant and former FBI Special Agent Brad Garrett reviewed the video for us.
This is another glaring hole in his statement where he contends that the two of them are together, and clearly, based on the surveillance, it's one person.
Dante is later seen walking through a parking lot in the rear of the store, where his mother arrives to pick him up. But what happens next to that parked Chevy? Could Kelsey still be in the car? Well, watch as it sits and sits and sits through the day, through the night. And over an 18-hour period, nobody is seen getting in or out of the car. But then, at 7:17 the following morning, a Walmart camera captures this man in a gray hoodie walking across a parking lot. Now, watch the camera trained on Kelsey's Chevy. The man with the hoodie approaches the car without hesitation. He opens the driver's door, gets in, and moments later, drives the car away.
It's a car that that person is familiar with. And we know earlier that Dante had the key. So who is this? I don't know. It's hard to imagine it's not anyone other than Dante.
Who do you think that someone was that came back and drove that car away?
You know, there's similarities to Dante, but it's nothing that we can 100% say that is the person who drove it away.
And other security cameras capture something Dante omitted from his account to police. Remember, he said after leaving the hospital that morning, he and Kelsey drove to the Walmart. But it turns out he did make a stop at this Pueblo bank. This video was shot at about 11:40 a.m. before he arrived at the Walmart. Dante is seen pulling up to a drive-through ATM in Kelsey's Chevy Cruze, and he's using Kelsey's bank card to withdraw $400 from her account. Kelsey is nowhere to be seen.
Is it suspicious for you that he uses that card?
It is part of the suspicious activity, yes. And that is one more addition that we have in the case.
Cops now believe that Dante knows much more about Kelsey's disappearance than he's letting on. Time for Cops versus Dante, the rematch.
This is the second time I'll talk to you. You're afforded certain rights by the Constitution.
These detectives had a wealth of information to go at him that I and other people would have died to have in an interview.
Playing a game of 2-on-1, the Pueblo detectives confront Dante about his visit to the ATM using Kelsey's bank card.
I don't know a nice way to put this, but why'd you get the money?
The money?
Mm-hmm.
What money are we talking about?
$11.39 at the bank. You're on video, too. In her car with her credit card. You're on tape.
Oh, that's the 400 they're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
This is from my phone bill.
Why didn't she go with you to the ATM? It's not in the car. It's on the video.
It may have been while she was over the hospital. Honestly, I'm not sure about the, like I said, like my time frame has been messed up.
The detective moves on to another topic, pressing the power forward about why there's no record of Kelsey ever showing up at that hospital.
There's no record of it ever being in front of you.
That's like all I have to say. Like,
Sit my shoes and, do you see the question that...
I understand where you're coming from. I completely do. Like, I get it, but I don't even know what to say right now.
It's clearly an opening. The light's almost coming on like I'm boxed here, and I feel like I'm in trouble.
But Garrett believes right at that moment, the cops make a blunder. Instead of cornering Dante on these contradictions, they hopscotch over to an unrelated topic.
When you dropped her off, when she dropped you off at Walmart, where were you parked at?
I mean, like, apparently you guys know, so, like, I don't understand why you, like, I told him one time, like, that's all I can say about it.
She dropped you off, when was that again?
Can I speak to a lawyer, please? So if you guys keep asking the same questions over and over, and, like, I was like, speak to a lawyer.
And with that, game over. The detectives walk out of the room, and the interrogation is concluded, with key questions about that Walmart video, for instance, left unasked.
Unfortunately, this is a very poorly executed interview. I think it's a tremendous missed opportunity because you have a case that you don't have physical evidence.
Pueblo police wouldn't discuss details of the interrogation, but they acknowledge that it was their last shot at talking to Dante about the case.
Once he shut down, our avenues of trying to talk to him, and
How did you read that?
we read it as, the possibility that he knows something.
Now, the police still have Dante dead to rights using Kelsey's bank card. So they arrest him and charge him with identity theft. But just a month later, to Kelsey's family's horror, the charge is dropped.
How do you prove she did not or did give him permission at that time? You don't know that. And since you had him permission to do it before, it makes it a very difficult case to prosecute.
He's out there walking around free as a bird. Why would that be the case if he's in that interrogation room lying to your officers?
Lying to someone is not evidence of the crime.
I just have to ask you, how does all of this make you feel?
Sick. Angry. If we just want an effective investigation done into Kelsey's disappearance.
Bad blood develops between Kelsey's family and the Pueblo Police Department. Angry that the police refused to even classify Kelsey's disappearance as a criminal case, her family takes matters into their own hands.
Her family is pleading for your help.
They go public, holding a press conference to bring attention to the case.
And law enforcement has informed us that Dante Lucas accessed her bank account.
The family's plight strikes a chord in Pueblo. Hundreds of residents join in the search for Kelsey. Kelsey's family offers a $50,000 reward and creates this Help Find Kelsey Facebook page with detailed information about the case and a call out for any tips. But despite these efforts, nothing turns up.
The ride home is always really tough, going home empty-handed.
2 years pass. hope fades. But coming up, a startling message is about to come through that Facebook page, giving Laura hope that maybe she can get her daughter back without the Pueblo police. A mystery emailer is about to deliver shocking news. He claims he knows all about what Dante was up to and that Kelsey is alive, being held along with other kidnapped women. And there's video to prove it.
That there was a video. Kelsey screaming for help.
Maybe she is out there. Maybe she is alive.
I mean, it was just what if? What if?
When 2020 continues.
Your name's Tickle, right?
As Laura Saxton tends pigs at her Yuma, Colorado home, she's convinced another kind of swine has taken her daughter. But was Kelsey murdered? Or could she somehow be alive?
What if she is still out there somewhere?
Our story is about to take a dramatic turn to the east. This is Portsmouth, Ohio, a stone's throw from the Kentucky border. This former meatpacking hub, now plagued by prescription drug abuse, would seem to have nothing to do with the disappearance of Kelsey Schelling 1,200 miles away in Colorado. But listen to this mother's story.
I want her to come running down that street. Come walking around the corner.
Marcella Lancaster has never met Kelsey's mom, Laura Saxton, but she knows all about her pain.
You gotta just, try not to cry every day in front of my grandson.
Just 2 months after Kelsey Schelling disappeared, leaving behind no trace but her abandoned car, a strikingly similar fate befell Marcella's 25-year-old daughter, Megan. She vanished from Portsmouth, also leaving behind no trace but her abandoned car.
At first glance, there are a lot of similarities between these two cases, which one could conclude that the same individual or group are involved in both of them.
The Portsmouth police are drawing a blank, but Marcella and her family have been relentless in their search.
An eerie feeling like there's something, like we're gonna find something.
Megan's sister-in-law, Katie, runs point for the family. And so, for more than 3 years, parallel family tragedies playing out in separate time zones. Both families organizing searches, setting up Facebook pages to field leads, and doing whatever they can to keep public attention on their respective cases.
Megan and Pueblo are not giving up on finding clues that could help find Kelsey Schelling.
Why do you think people feel so strongly about Kelsey's case?
They can't believe it. They try and imagine what if it was their child.
And in both cases, both families realizing it may all be for naught.
I was finally coming to terms with backing off a little bit.
You've had so many dead ends in this situation. Is it hard to keep hope?
As far as the hope of actually finding her, that dwindles, every day.
But last October, as Dante Lucas is working and playing basketball in Pueblo, and Laura is reconciling herself to her worst-case scenario, a startling development. A mysterious message of hope comes through that Help Find Kelsey Facebook page.
It was from a woman who I'm not familiar with, saying, if I have information about Kelsey, can I remain anonymous?
The woman says her name is Jenna McLean, and that it's risky for her to come forward. Her life is in danger. She passes the conversation on to a male associate who writes, "Ma'am, please, your daughter is not dead. She will be back home alive." The man knows all sorts of details of the case and offers a troubling account of what really befell Kelsey, claiming her baby daddy Dante had hired a friend to kill her. Dante has no idea she is alive. He thinks she is dead. Cliff, who was ordered to kill her, opted to keep her and sell her.
And that the friend did not kill her. He sold her into sex trafficking. He had a fake grave dug and showed that to Dante as proof that he had killed Kelsey. The baby had been aborted. There was a video of it being done. Kelsey screaming.
How did that affect you?
It's really hard to find words to use for it because it's so awful. It made me sick. I could barely function.
That same month, 1,200 miles away in Ohio, a nearly identical development. One Jenna McLean reaches out to Megan Lancaster's family through Facebook, says she has information, then passes the conversation on to a male associate who knows all about Megan's case.
Out of nowhere, he pops up. He says, I know where Megan is, and I can get her back. He tells me how she was tortured, and that she was in sex trafficking, and he told me that they kept her on chains.
Both families get a nearly identical, highly bizarre proposition. The emailer says he can help each missing woman escape, but he needs money. He tells Katie to bring $50,000 in cash, 25 grand up front, to Vancouver, Washington, specifically to this McDonald's, and deliver it to a man named Marcus who will be wearing a red hat.
The exchange was that if I would come to Washington, that I could have Megan.
Laura gets the same offer.
Once the money was exchanged, then this courier person would go and get Kelsey and bring her back to the McDonald's.
Needless to say, the whole thing sounds fishy. In fact, it could be one of the most diabolical scams ever conceived. And yet, how can a desperate mother say no?
I just thought, what if she's been out there and I could have found her and we haven't?
Despite her skepticism, Laura decides to play ball, writing back she's ready to make a deal.
I'll have to sell some stocks, which will take about a week, but I can push to expedite that process.
Katie also agrees, but there's a twist. Both families are working with 2020. When it's time for the drop, the delivery man will be one of our producers. Enough games. Before we give this guy anything, it's time for some answers.
Right when they're in the trunk, get ready. We're about 10 seconds away.
Stay with us.
2020 continues. What if?
The mystery of Kelsey Shelley's disappearance has brought us all the way here, Vancouver, Washington, and an ordinary McDonald's where somebody is about to conduct some extraordinary business.
A picture was sent, a name was given, very specific instructions.
Laura Saxton has arranged this meeting with a mysterious emailer. He's promised to return Kelsey from the clutches of a sex trafficking ring if she will hand deliver $50,000 here to a man named Marcus wearing a red hat. Concerned about possible criminal involvement, Kelsey's family has asked Vancouver police to meet the courier undercover.
We didn't know if this actually was a sex trafficking issue or if it was extortion. Felt like law enforcement should have been involved in the situation.
But just before the appointed time, the Vancouver police back out, believing it to be a scam and not an actual human trafficking plot. But 2020 has that Golden Arches under surveillance, and our cameras are rolling as a man with a red hat enters. He sits quietly, doesn't even order a McShake, waiting for his takeout order of cold hard cash. But after no one shows up, he takes his leave. We show the video to Laura.
I'm really surprised that somebody actually showed up. It is weird, eerie to see that they actually were, going through with this.
Laura is more determined than ever to uncover the truth. Is this for real or is it a scam?
It was just all a matter of trying to get down to the truth of this.
Now, 2020 has uncovered the key to cracking this mystery. It's that other tormented family in Ohio, the family of Megan Lancaster.
What if he really does have her and I can bring her home?
They've also been promised to get their missing loved one back if they bring a supersized bag of Benjamins to that same Golden Arches and deliver it to a man named Marcus wearing, you guessed it, a red hat.
It's almost a relief to know that they were doing this to somebody else in a way, because then that's just 100% clarification that some dirtbags out there are trying to get money off of these poor families.
Both families now convinced they're being conned and ready to fight back.
I was like hell-bent on this person being found. I wanted to know why. Why did you randomly pick us? Why did you randomly pick the other family? Why?
Katie, you said this morning that they sent you a text message.
To answer that question, Katie has agreed to work with 2020 to set up a sting operation.
They will be sending Marcus.
Just 2 weeks after Marcus came to scoop up Laura's cash, Katie arranged a similar meeting of her own. But there's a twist. She will be bringing ABC News producer Jerry Wagshall and a hidden camera. Katie and Jerry walk into that Vancouver McDonald's, the appointed meet time. They spot Marcus, the man with the red hat, and walk over to him. Katie's been instructed not to ask any questions, so they tell Marcus they've brought the money, but the cash is in the trunk of a car parked outside.
Okay, let's get ready.
They all head out to the parking lot, but before the trunk is open, it's time for a little heart-to-heart with Marcus.
Marcus Ryan Smith, ABC News. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Why'd you come here to take $25,000 from Katie?
I don't know.
You don't know why you're here to take $25,000 from Katie?
Nope.
What are you here for?
Oh, because to collect some money.
Marcus claims he was suckered too, lured online into a supposed jewelry venture. He says he was supposed to pick up the money and wire it to someone he's never met.
So a random guy tells you to go to McDonald's twice in less than 2 weeks to meet people to pick up money, and you don't think anything of it?
I didn't think none of it.
We were told that you were going to deliver Megan to Katie today. Is that true?
I have no idea about no Megan or no kidnapping or anything like that.
See how this doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
Do you see how it sounds like you're involved? This would be a scheme to extort money from families who have family members that are missing.
I didn't know nothing of this.
How could you even, I guess, even start this?
No
We're
clue
talking
about a
human
missing person.
trafficking here.
I had no clue anybody was supposed to be exchanging nothing for a human being. If I did know, I would not have been involved in this situation.
We showed our confrontation with Marcus to Laura.
I just feel shaky inside. Definitely a big scam.
It's important that you be real honest with
Yeah,
me.
I'm real honest.
You have never heard of Kelsey Shelley.
Never.
You have never heard of Megan Lancaster.
Never.
I guess Marcus is the fall boy, and I want to know who's behind it.
So who was sending those emails? Well, it turns out they may be a little tougher to get to. An FBI analysis of the emailer's Facebook page revealed that it utilized an IP address which is traced back to, of all places, Russia.
That's the frustrating part about internet scams, is they're difficult to identify and even more difficult to hold the people accountable.
But since we confronted Marcus, both Laura and Katie have stopped receiving those tormenting messages.
I'm really grateful to know that we know the answer, and this needs to just be a warning to other families who have missing family members that these people are out there. They're looking for you. They're studying you. They don't have a problem with hurting you and taking your money.
Coming up, the extortion plot may be laid to rest, but Laura now returns her focus to her prime suspect, Dante Lucas. And so do we. How about a little one-on-one?
Dante Lucas, I'm with ABC News 2020.
Stay with us.
Missing pregnant woman and her unborn baby remembered in Pueblo today.
This February, on the 3rd anniversary of Kelsey Shelley's disappearance, hundreds turn out in Pueblo to honor her memory.
Do your job!
And to protest how police have handled the case. Pueblo police strongly defend their investigation.
It's never been closed. That is the most manpower hours intensive case we've ever worked.
Can you understand why the family might look at this like, I feel like I'm dealing with the Keystone Cops here. I feel like I'm not getting a straight answer from the cops.
Well, yeah, I understand the family's going through a lot of difficult times. They're frustrated. But, you know, there are many things that they feel we have the power to do we don't have the power to do.
I don't think they will do their job.
What do you want them to do right now?
I want them to give the case to somebody else who's going to work it. I want things that need to be done.
Kelsey's parents also haven't forgotten about Dante Lucas, the only person of interest named in the case. They've sued Dante and several members of his family, claiming he murdered Kelsey and her unborn baby, and the family either conspired with him or covered it up. Dante, his mother, and the rest of the family have denied the allegations. Today, Dante can still be found playing ball on occasion on a Pueblo court, and that's where 2020 caught up with him.
The family of Kelsey says you're responsible for her disappearance. Is that true? What do you have to say to Kelsey's family about the disappearance? Nothing? Anything to say?
Meanwhile, Laura continues the search for her long-lost daughter and unborn grandchild. Just a few weeks ago, she was back in Pueblo, organizing yet another search party,
I can swing back that way, or
combing the landscape for any clues.
it's just like looking for a needle in a haystack. I don't think I can survive if I don't find her.
Just like the family of Megan Lancaster back in Ohio, Laura vows she will never give up until she is finally reunited with the person she loves most in this world.
Bring her home. I want to lay her to rest. She deserves to be honored. We deserve a place to go visit her.
And right here tonight, a major new development. 2020 has just learned that the Pueblo Police Department is planning to turn over Kelsey's case to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation.
For those families, perhaps a step toward resolution.
I'm David Muir.
And I'm Elizabeth Vargas. For all of us here at 2020 and ABC News, have a good night and a great weekend.